Hi and welcome to each and every one of you joining us for this pre-recorded show. We are recording on Tuesday for the meeting on Wednesday, the 31st of January, bringing down the curtain on January, and then we'll be moving into February. Hollywoodbets Kenilworth is the place where we'll be racing, and on the line we phoned a friend, Graham Hawkins. We're going to need his expertise. Graham, how are you doing? And then looking at the card, I think there's going to be some decent dividends on offer.
Very challenging card, Sheldon. I'm doing really well, thank you very much. We have an 8-race program. The first leg of the bipod, which is race 1 off at 12.25. It's not going to be easy.
Now we kick off in with an open maiden in the first race, so that throws a bit of a spanner in the works. The current betting has number 6, which is Dance to the Light at 33-10, 5th, 3rd and a 4th to the credit here. Then we have number 16, Tambourine Man with 55 kgs. Dance to the Light carries 61, Congressman 61, and Bohemian Grove at 60 kgs. So looking at the betting, Tambourine Man 7-2, Congressman 5-1, and of course the favourite number 6, Dancing to the Light. Now Graham, looking at this race, there's a couple of horses who are going to improve significantly. Where do we go in race number 1?
I think I'm going to stick with the tried and tested. No good thing, but number 16, Tambourine Man, has been knocking very loudly at the door. He's been placed in his last 4 starts. He deserves to win a race of this nature. He was 3rd behind the long-time maiden, Simply Beautiful, last time. Congressman was making its debut on that occasion, was 2 lengths behind Tambourine Man, and clearly can improve sufficiently to turn the tables. It is interesting that Tambourine Man is now, in fact, a kilo and a half better off, despite having beaten Congressman last time out by a couple of lengths. The early favourite, number 6, Dancing to the Light, has shown enough to suggest he can win a race of this nature. He was certainly a very well beaten 4th, nearly 8 lengths behind Champagne Mac in a similar contest last time out. Does have the 61 to shoulder. The chances for an upset, always possible in a race of this nature. Number 3, Babylon, fits that bill. So does number 9, Connery. We've all been waiting for Connery to kind of reproduce the form he showed in his first 3 starts. He's gone missing since then, but he's dropping down the ratings. He's down 5 pounds. It is an open maiden. He could suddenly show improvement. Connery could be the real upset package in the race. And possibly number 10, Colonel Green. Now, when you look at Colonel Green, ran 3rd behind Champagne Mac when Dancing to the Light ran 4th. So that's a clear indication of how muddly the form is, because next time out, Colonel Green was well behind Tambourine Man and Congressman. That's why I don't really trust the favourite, number 6, Dancing to the Light. I'm going to row in with number 16, Tambourine Man, as my first choice to beat home number 7, Congressman, and number 6, Dancing to the Light. But I think you need to throw quite a few into the first leg of the bipod.
There we go, number 16, Tambourine Man, 1.5 kgs better off on that Simply Beautiful run, and with 55 kilograms on the back at around 7-2, might just be the narrow first selection. I'm afraid race number 2 doesn't get much easier, Graham. How do we put this puzzle together? I see they are betting in a number of races, 4-1 and 5-1 the field, and here's a race in case, number 9, Rainbow Lorikeet at 4-1, obviously the Call Me Getrix and Princess Izzy and Fatal Gem form lines are very prominent here. Enchanting Choice 9-2 with Call Me Getrix, and then 5-1 Princess Izzy. Now they've met recently. How do you see the form? Are they going to keep the form, or are they going to switch it around?
Well, that's hard to say. There's absolutely nothing to choose between number 9, Rainbow Lorikeet, and number 11, Call Me Getrix, both from the Candice Bass Robinson stable. By the way, this race is very challenging, but it's challenging for the right reasons, because there's a lot of good form to go around. As you say, Call Me Getrix has the form. Rainbow Lorikeet has the form. Last time out was beaten only there by Call Me Getrix, Rainbow Lorikeet. So the two of them go into the race with good form, with awkward draws, but there's nothing to choose between them. Not too far away was number 5, Princess Izzy. Senora Victoria's run on very strongly in the last 2 starts. Runner-up in both both of those. She's got to go into the mix. And then number 8, Enchanting Choice, comes out of a different form line, was second in its penultimate run behind Windrunner, and then last time had a very close fourth behind Epicleros. And then the lurker in the pack is always number 1, Little Miss Pink. So as you said, it doesn't get any easier. I'm going to go with number 11, Call Me Jetrix, to get the job done ahead of its stable companion, number 9, Rainbow Lorikeet. My third choice would be number 4, Senora Victoria, and then number 5, Princess Izzy. But both Enchanting Choice and Little Miss Pink are very much alive, as well as number 10, Among the Clouds. Ran well below expectations last time out, but was drawn in the bush 15 out of 15. Prior to that was close up behind Sidley, and Sidley ran out of his socks in a listed feature on Met Day over the weekend. So you can't safely ignore number 10, Among the Clouds. So in the place accumulating the bipot, you've got to throw in a couple, certainly numbers 9 and 11, as well as number 4, Senora Victoria. But if you wanted to go wider, I wouldn't discourage you.
Super, as we move on to race number 3, and just having a look at the betting, once again it's 4-1 the field. Number 2, Fordray, the exceptionally well-bred son of Fire Away. Graham, you know your pedigree's the back of your hand. How well-bred is this horse, Fordray?
Yeah, he's been well bred for all 4 of his starts, hasn't he? The half-brother to Hawam, the half-brother to Rainbow Bridge, but he seems to have forgotten that. He's shown enough potential to win a maiden, that is for sure. He's been placed in all 4 starts, but he's been a beaten favourite and costly to follow in his last 3. He made his first appearance as a gelding when a distant 4th behind Solomon Seal over 1,400 metres last time, and perhaps the race didn't pan out for him, but we can't keep making excuses for him. He's now got to deliver on the racetrack. He is the marginal first choice. I'm happy to give him one more chance in this, his second run as a gelding. But number 7, Press On Regardless, is a horse that I've had my eye on for a while. I thought he would have won a maiden by now, but he's showed nice improvement last time out when allowed to stride to the front. And it's interesting, his 2 best career runs are when he's made the running, when he was a close 4th behind Accept Temptation in his 3rd start, and last time out when allowed to stride freely in front, he was only overhauled in the latter stages by King of Spin close to the line. So I do make number 7, Press On Regardless, assuming they're going to adopt the same tactics, a big runner. Number 6, Give That Man a Bells, and number 8, Song to the Moon. He could be the improver. Song to the Moon has only had 3 sprints to date, goes the 1,600 metres for the first time. There could be a lot of improvement to come. So these are the 4 principles: 2, Fudray, 7, Press On Regardless, 6, Give That Man a Bells, and 8, Song to the Moon. I'd be hoping those 4 would be enough to get you through the opening leg of the Pick 6 over 1,600 metres. The Pick 6 closes at 13:35. My top choice, one more time, would be number 2, Fudray, but it's fair to say he's been most disappointing.
100% right. And then if you're looking to throw in a little bit of a lurker, number 5, Join the Dots from the Brett Crawford stable, made some late progress first time out. I think he'll enjoy the mile, and if not needing one more run at around 12 and 14-1, throw number 5, Join the Dots. Talking about joining the dots, Graham, race number 4 is your suggested bet, jackpot 1, and I think you've gone 9 out of the 11 runners in your jackpot.
Well, that's, according to Deeze's formula, should be the field, and that's the kind of race it is. There are so many with chances in race 4, a class 4 handicap over 1,400 metres. There are not too many that you can discount. 4, Unicorn Alert, and 5, Fibonacci. They come out of the Oriental Charm form line. Fibonacci is one of your favorite horses in training, got home ahead of Unicorn Alert on that occasion. Not much to choose between them. They are my top 2 choices. The in-form Adam Marcus has 2 very much alive runners in the form of number 2, Augusta Blue, who ran second behind the Grey King, and we saw the Grey King come out and place in the Grade 3 Politician Stakes, albeit further over the weekend. Number 7, Kelp Forest, will appreciate going back to the 1,400 metres. He ran a cracker over 1,200 metres last time out. He won his penultimate over 1,400 metres. He's going to put up his hand in a race like this. Can you ignore Snathan Fanico, number 6, Steinbeck? It's been an awful long time since he paid a visit to the winners' enclosure, but you can't ignore him. 11, Champagne Mac can continue to improve. Watch for improvement from number 8, Aberdeen. Number 9, Heart Stealer, was just behind Augusta Blue last time out, and so we go on and on and on. Michael Farrelly ran well enough last time to suggest that he could end up a long spell in the wilderness. He's been without a win for 637 days. So you pays your money, you takes your chances here, Sheldon. My top two choices would be 4, Unicorn Alert, and 5, Fibonacci ahead of number 7, Kelp Forest. But any kind of result can be expected here.
There we go. There's Graham's numbers for the short list. And as we mentioned, 9 out of the 11 runners will be going into the exotics. As we jump along to race number 5 at 1450, this will be run over a trip of 1400 meters. And just having a look, once again, the betting tells the story. 9 to 2 the field, number 5 Trippy Silk and 7 Bristol Hercules. Share favoritism, 9 to 2. Number 6, Oliver's 5 to 1. There's been a little nibble for number 9, Gravity, 7 to 1 down, 5 to 1 with Incredible. And then for me, number 8, Tyrion Lannister, Graham. Let's start with number 8, Tyrion Lannister. For me, he's a horse of interest. Where would you put him in the pecking order? Around 14 to 1?
Yeah, well, I have to say I've sidelined number 8, Tyrion Lannister, from my selections. He's let me down before. I've gone pretty wide in this, the second leg of the jackpot. I've got a banker in the last leg of the jackpot, so we're going wide in the first 3 legs. Would I be surprised if Tyrion Lannister actually got the job done? No, not really, but he doesn't form part of my play. I've included 6 runners in the second leg of the jackpot, but having chatted to you now, might well have to throw in number 8, Tyrion Lannister, as well, because too many times you've hit upon the right horse, and Tyrion Lannister could suddenly bounce back to form. When he won his maiden, he beat Uguletu, who's yet to win a race. Kingdom of Heaven, that fourth behind Kingdom of Heaven on the 14th of November, wasn't a bad effort, but it wasn't a great race that occasion. Not too bad a run behind Yellow Porsche Road. I think they're struggling to get to grips with Tyrion Lannister, so for the moment I've sidelined him and gone with a short list of numbers: 1, Big Unit, 5, Chippy Silk, 6, Oliver, 7, Bristol Hercules, 9, Gravity. You said there's been a bit of money for 9, Gravity. Beat Riverstone in its maiden. Riverstone came out and did us a huge favour in the last race over the weekend. What is interesting with Gravity, if you look at the declarations, the blinkers come off. Now, the first time blinkers were fitted was when he won last time out, beating Riverstone. The blinkers come off. That's interesting. And, of course, number 11, Incredible. He's a soldier. He's got the worst of the draw to overcome. Vaughan Marshall had a terrific day on Saturday, albeit without a winner. He ran second in all of the 3 rich feature races. Richard Faree takes the ride. So my top choice would be number 5, Trippy Silk. I've just got a feeling, Sheldon, that this 3-year-old son of Trippy has been asked a lot to carry 60. But I've got a feeling there's a lot more to come, and he could be a good horse in the making. My second choice would be number 11, Incredible, then 6, Oliver, 7, Bristol Hercules, 9, Gravity, 1, Big Unit. I've put 6 in the jackpot, but I'm going to throw in number 8, Tyrion Lannister, as well. That'll be missing from the slide, which we'll have a look at later on, but I'll certainly give him another mention then.
Excellent. As we move on to heat number 6, race number 6 at 1525. This will be run over a distance of 1400 meters. And I'm afraid to say it does not get any easier. We're going to have to put the pieces in the puzzle here. 9 to 2 the field. Number 6, Future Prince. 5 to 1, number 7, Beyond the Boundary. Number 2, San Pedro's at 11 to 2. Rule of Thumb, 6 to 1. And then Graham, number 8, Rosh Kadesh. One of the horses that you fancy on the card, one of your value bets at around 6 and 7 to 1. Let's look at Rosh Kadesh. Ran 8th behind Prometere last time out. Future Prince was second on that occasion, but something's caught your eye with Rosh Kadesh.
Well, firstly, I'm so pleased that Green with Envy got the job done for Dean Canamair in the Politician Stakes on Saturday, because Dean was having a real frustrating run and was without a winner for quite some time, which is unlike Dean, and the becomes increasingly frustrating when it's at the height of the Cape Summer season. So with that win under the belt, I'm looking for the stable to turn the corner, and I've no doubt that Rosh Kadesh was slightly below best last time out. He was running on strongly, he was perhaps too far back. Future Prince got first run on him. He's got a couple of legs to find on Future Prince. He's 1 kilo better off, but I suspect that Rosh Kadesh, fitted with blinkers for the first time in his career, that could be the master stroke. So my value bet for the day and my top choice in the race is number 8, Rosh Kadesh. I'm expecting him to run to his best form, but you can't ignore number 6, Future Prince. There's been a bit of an early nibble in the market for him. He ran much better last time when we all expected him to run better, and he's heading back in the right direction. So Future Prince, definitely a runner. two others that I'd like to mention. Number 4, Kariaku, was also in that race on the 13th of January behind Prometeur. The Eric Sands stable continues to tick along very nicely with only 54.5 on his back, and with Grant Vernicke taking the ride for the first time ever on number 4, Kariaku. He's got to be respected. And then Peter Muscat, well, he had such a frustrating day on Saturday until his son Daniel Muscat rode the winner of the Met. That would have lifted his mood significantly. But beyond the boundary, knocking at the door very loudly, you can't ignore him. I'm happy to sidestep number 2, San Pedro. He's never, ever shaped at this course. He's had 4 runs for 4 blanks. He seems to be a Hollywoodbets Durbanville specialist. That's the way I read it. So I'm only going with the 4 runners. Number 4, Kariaku. Number 6, Future Prince. Number 7, Beyond the Boundary. And number 8, Rosh Kadesh. But I think at around 6-1, you could do worse than have a little nibble on number 8, Rosh Kadesh.
There we go. The value on the day could be Rosh Kadesh, so keep a close eye, and Graham Hawkins could be spot on the button. That'll take us into the zone of race number 7, which is over the trip of 1,200 meters, and this is where Graham has gone with a banker in the form of number 5, Shifting Path, from the Vaughan Marshall stable. 4-year-old son of Path Fork, who's found his form again. He had a victory 3 runs back, and then last time was 4th behind Mr. Frosty. And Graham, this is a horse who's racing 30 points off his highest merit rating achieved.
I think this is the right race for him. Yes, he does have a length and 3/4 to find with Mr. Frosty. So strictly on paper, Mr. Frosty could have his measure again. But I suspect that Shifting Path didn't get the run of the race on that occasion. This race sets up beautifully for number 5, Shifting Path. Bernard Fay Durban, Vaughan Marshall, as I said, had a very frustrating day on Saturday with Coastal Commander and Rascallion running second in big, rich races. And we have a lowly class 5 handicap. Let's hope they get it right. I think Shifting Path is going to turn it around with number 6, Mr. Frosty. If you want to be absolutely safe, then obviously you've got to throw the 2 of them in. Beyond them, I can't find anything. The form is very, very thin in this race. These class 5 handicaps are right from outset. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm going wide in the opening 3 legs of the jackpot. I'm happy to take my chances and bank at number 5, Shifting Path, to come home ahead of number 6, Mr. Frosty, on this occasion.
Then looking on to the final event, which is race number 8, and this is due off at 16:35. It'll be over 1,000 meters, so they'll jump down the lane and they'll be oiling along over 1,000 meters. Now, Graham, I'm afraid to say it does not get any easier. Looking at the betting, number 5, Future Variety, sets this trend at 5-1. So majority of the races, they're betting 4-1 and 5-1. That's why we said it's such an open nature of the card today. Number 1, Axel, is 6-1, 7-1 RC Blast, Yamadori, and then All About L and the Abdicator 8-1. Tough Terrain at 10-1 could be a little bit of value worth throwing in. Graham, I'm going to put the ball in your court in race number 8. This is one of those races where you just have to play the luck and hopefully you find the right horse in the race.
Yes, Sheldon, without a question, the best race on the card. It's a class 3 over 1,000 meters, and wow, it is a strong race. There are many talented sprinters in here. Future Variety is very well thought of. He's a classy son of VAR. It's got to be a little bit of a worry that he steps back from 1,200 meters to 1,000 meters. He tends to get going late in his races. Morley Vinar has only ridden him once before, and that's when he won in his penultimate start, and that was when beating Captain Arrow by half a length. Now, Captain Arrow, although not cited, took his place in the Cape Flying Championship over the weekend. That's how highly he's held in regard by Candice Bass Robinson, and of course Future Variety comes out of the same stable. So Future Variety, from a class perspective, does set the standard, but is it going to be 200 meters for him? The race will show. Axel has been an emphatic winner of his last 2 starts. The first of those 2 over the minimum trip of 1,000 meters, and the second over 1,200 meters, when he was perhaps even more impressive, beating the very same Coastal Commander who ran second in the Gold Rush over the weekend. So Axel of 56 kilograms is very, very much alive and could well reel off the hat-trick. He gets a vote to run second for me behind number 5, Future Variety. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Future Variety because his class might carry him through, but there are many others with chances. Number 15, Tough Terrain, you've mentioned. He finishes off his races really well. So again, the same comment applies. Is this 200 metres too short for Tough Terrain? But he gets the vote from me to run into the money to third spot, ahead of number 7, Icy Blast, round of the quartet. But then you've got horses like Bluff on Bluff. The Abdicator, very much a 1,000-metre specialist. He's not too consistent, but if in the right sort of mood, he could gallop them off their feet here. Silver Crown ran well last time out. All about L is his game, and consistent as they come, and he'll run another very, very solid race. And then there's Yamadori. Things went completely awry when going around the turn over 1,400 metres last time. He reverts to the straight course. His course and distance form is 2 starts for a win and a second. So suffice to say that this is a good field of sprinters. They're all going to progress, these young 3-year-olds in particular, they're going to progress their way through the divisions. It's wide open, and it's with a lot of hesitancy that I make the 5 Future Variety my first choice, despite carrying 60.5, but no good thing.
Well, there you go, a conveyor belt of dangers in the race, so as wide as your budget will allow, and that'll bring proceedings to an end. Graham, we're going to bring up your suggested bets for the day, so if you wouldn't mind just taking the viewers through your suggested bets, and let's hope the horses do it for us on the track.
Well, there's my jackpot. As you said, I've included 9 of the 11 in the first leg, only leaving out number 1, Down by the River, who's drawn in pole position, and number 10, Thunder Masala, who makes his debut for a stable. So if you're going to put 9 out of 11, you might want to include the whole field, but certainly that race is up for grabs. Any kind of result can be expected. The second leg now has been sources here, but we might have to make it 7 because you hit on number 8, Tyrion Lannister, which is not part of that list. So all of numbers 1, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11 made my original list, but why not throw in number 8, Tyrion Lannister as well? The third leg, a 4-cornered contest between numbers 4, Kariaku, 6, Future Prince, 7, Beyond the Boundary, and number 8, Rosh Kadesh. I fancy Rosh Kadesh to win. Here's my value bet for the day, as you can see on the screen. Then, because we've gone so wide in the first 3 legs, we've got to take our chances with number 5, Shifting Path, as a banker in the last. The immediate danger, of course, will be number 6, Mr. Frosty. An upset cannot be ruled out, but we can't go wide in every leg. So I'm nailing my colours to the mast in the 7th race. Number 5, Shifting Path, to come home first.
Well, thanks very much, Graham. We really value your input, and hopefully the horses do it for us on the track, and we'll speak to you shortly.
Thank you, Sheldon. Go well.
Thanks very much to Graham Hawkins joining us on the line for the Cape Town meeting. Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and now it's up to the horses to run as fast as they can.